Why it look like that? Like there's like a white light at the top. Hold on. I'm just gonna be on that end. Oh, Lord. It's the Bright Queen, and I haven't done this in a while, and I'm kind of nervous, but it's okay. So I need to like start looking like over here instead of like over here. But basically, I've been seeing the wheel a lot. I hope everybody doing well, by the way. I've been seeing the wheel a lot. Okay. Like the wheel like this. Yes, this is gonna irritate me, but I'm gonna push through it, it's okay. I've been seeing the wheel like this a lot. So basically this is my Gothic Oracle deck. And this is my first time using it since like September. Because when I got back from the airport, I took this, I think, out of my bag, my backpack, and like put it in the trunk. And not in the trunk, but like in the backseat of my car. And I looked for it and it wasn't there. And then I looked for it again and it wasn't there. And so I was just like, okay, I guess I left it somewhere else that I thought I didn't. And then yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I was driving, no, I was sitting in my car and I heard like a little thum, like a little, as if the box had dropped on the floor. And I turned around and it was right there on the floor. And I was like, okay, I guess it's supposed to be used again. So this is something that's happened to me before. I always think of it as like the fairies. They'll like, or whomever, some sort of magical beings, they'll like take things and put them in like pocket realities or like pocket dimensions or whatever. And then like when it's time or when they want to, they'll give them back. They've never given me back my shoes. I don't know where I had these shoes and they disappeared and I never got those back, but everything else I've gotten back. But yesterday I did a little quick reading for myself. This card was an action card. Like the question was an action card, like what are the actions that's gonna be taken? And this card came out the wheel and I saw it when I was at work. I saw the wheel in the video I watched today. I saw the wheel in the Moana movie. I saw the wheel in the Dark Tower movie. And I'm like, okay, something's going on. I don't like how it looks, but it's okay. As I said, I'm gonna just push through. Like it looks weird. Like why it look like that? Like what's this? What is that? Like this. Is it my shadow? But like, what is that like thing? Yes. Oh, thank you. I'm on live, by the way, so it's gonna be on my camera. Oh, another one. Okay, so what was I saying? Yes, the wheel thing came up, and then so I have like theories on what I think the wheel is or what the wheel is trying to say, and I'm gonna share that because I haven't shared like the things that I picked up in a while. So basically the wheel, as I believe it, is to do with time. And I always say on my channel like that time doesn't function the way that we think it does, if it exists at all, which it doesn't. But basically I think time in terms of like specifically like events or moments. And so there's like the wheel or energies. So you can think about the zodiac wheel and like all the little spooks or spokes are like the different zodiac signs, but it's like they represent time as they do. Like the zodiac signs happen during certain periods And of course it's messed up because our calendar isn't the correct calendar. Like, it's not the right one. But like, you get what I mean by like the zodiacs, like they have their seasons, right? And that's the different spokes. Okay. And the information that I've been given via my own intuition is that the number 10, like it's the position 10 or zodiac number 10, is the focus. And so at first I was thinking this is October, because on this, where'd it go? Jeez, did I shuffle it away? On the wheel card that I had earlier, there was a pumpkin and it was catching my eye. And the pumpkin, of course, is associated with October, Halloween, that time period. But I felt like the message was like something is going to happen, but it also it's going to happen in October. And this has been something that I also think is important, where like that's what's happening, which I'll get into hopefully later if I remember to put everything into this. But like time being out of order, things no longer going in the chronological order that we think it's happening in. Like, there are gonna be like moments and times when it's like out of order, but exactly where it's supposed to be. Like, I don't know, it's like this is a year of reveal, right? Like, everything is being revealed, and like this is gonna be one of the things that's revealed. It's like how time touches. And this is something that I've like talked about earlier this year. I don't think to anyone like publicly, but it's definitely something that's been brought up. Let me do like an example. I don't want to rip this page. Hold on, let me get like a paper. Here's a ticket. So it's basically like this thing, like the 2 points in time, like October and now, and it's here, it's at the same time. Yeah, you can think about this as like the movie Caddo Lake, or however you pronounce it, but this is what I'm picking up, this is what I'm feeling is true or is going to happen or has happened. I feel like there is an event that has happened or is going to happen in October of this year that also is happening in December of this year, 2024. The reason that I say December is because obviously that's when I'm doing this video, but also because technically December is the 10th month, and it's something that I thought of immediately when it turned into December, how the word deck is like the word for 10. So technically December is the 10th month, and that's why Capricorn is the 10th zodiac sign, happens in this month, even though it's off, it's like at the end and into January, because as I said, everything is like off when you go according to like the calendar that we use. It's not like correct. But yes, there's something that is going to happen, that has happened in October. It's going to be one of those like or it is one of those time glitchy events. I also feel like so I've gotten messages about 23 or 2.3, and so I took it as 1203, 1202, so December 2nd and December 3rd, which was a huge like cleansing moment. It was so cool because I described it to my friend as like, it's like it feels like a deep clean, and then the people who've already like been doing their work and cleaning and healing themselves, you'll feel it, but you won't feel it as intensely as other people who haven't done the work. Like those 2 days, December 2nd and December 3rd, felt very heavy and mucky. And then I feel that the transition, or the whatever you call it, from December 22nd to December 23rd is going to be, or is, significant. It is the shift from Sagittarius season into Capricorn season. The reason that I feel and I know that Capricorn is important is because I keep seeing the horns of a goat. They don't have antlers, they have horns. The horns of the goat is very important. And I've also been seeing like the horns of the ram as well. Like the horns are very important. Apparently they represent like duality or something. If you know like more about the horns, let me know in the comments. But that's what I have for now. um Let me make sure I'm like touching on all the things. So yeah, I mentioned the Moana movie and how I saw like the wheel and the spokes from that movie. It was because of the mountain there, and it's called Motu Fetu Fatui. Montu Fatui. I think that's how you pronounce it. It translates in English to Star Island. And I was like, that's going to be important. And then I found out why. Because a person called, or that goes by Divine Energy Works on Instagram, made a post. And it was like, Ann Terry's Stargate portal is open and activated now from December 2nd to December 5th, 2024, when our sun aligns with the royal star Antares. So that's important. Yeah, and she also posted 123 33 energy portal. 123 is a number that I've been seeing a lot. Not 1234, 123. And I feel like that's also very important. So if anybody has like extra information on that, let me know in the comments. But obviously, it's like the lead up to something like 1, 2, 3, go. Like something is happening. So that's why I wanted to like make this post about the wheel as it relates to time, and more specifically as it relates to like certain energies or destined events. I feel and I know that it's like the event that's going to happen in October of this year happens simultaneously with the one that's going to happen in December of this year. And they're going to happen at the same time. And I feel like it's breadcrumbs everywhere around October when you look back, and it's going to come into fruition this December. I don't like to talk about time, but in this instance, I feel that it's important because I feel that it's a destined event. It feels like a fated event, like something that is unavoidable and that has to happen. Like I said with Caddo Lake. So let me just go into like a brief explanation of Caddo Lake. It's a movie. It's on HBO Max or Max, whatever you want to call it. And basically it's about like a time portal, a natural portal in time. And one day this little girl goes missing, and it's because she went into the time portal. So her sister follows after her into the time portal, but she can't find her sister, and so she just goes to a different timeline. Then there's this man, played by Dylan O'Connor, something like that, and he hears screaming or someone calling in his time period, and he goes into the portal to look for the person screaming, and he actually finds a little girl, and she's injured, and so he takes her to like safety in that time portal that they were in. So it's all these different like time periods, and it's like all these things happened at the same time but in different years. Like watching that movie is gonna make it visualizes what I'm trying to say perfectly. And at the same time, these events had to happen, otherwise they wouldn't exist. So spoilers, even though I already given you spoilers, but the little girl, she's taken back in time from I think 2024 or 2023 or something like, or 2022. She's taken back in time to like the 50s. And in the 50s, she grows up and then she has a baby. That baby is the man that went looking for her and put her to safety. And then that man, Dylan O'Connor or whatever his name is, he ends up having a baby who is the big sister that went looking for the little girl. So it's like the little girl is the grandmother of the big sister and the mother of the man. And so it's like these events had to happen in order for any of them to happen. And they all happen at a particular point in time, but at the same time at different points in time. That is what's happening. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I feel. I also got a message a while ago about like different species like being found suddenly, like being around. Like they say a lot of like animal species are extinct, and I'm beginning to understand how many things are not true, but just things that we've been told. And one of the messages I got was that there's gonna be like animals that they said were extinct randomly just back. It's gonna be stuff like that. And it's because of what I'm saying, but it's also because like everything is being revealed. Okay? Is that all I wanted to say? There's definitely more for sure. Yeah, something similar was said by Earth 1111. She was talking about black holes and December being a portal month, which goes into something else that I wanted to talk about how like, I was gonna say like the veil is thin right now, but I don't like saying it because I feel like that implies that it's like ever closed, and it's not. I feel like what adjusts is us, like our frequency or our ability to perceive, but it's like these things are always here. It's the same with like if you think about a wheel. If you're in like one section of the wheel, just because you can't see on the other side of the spokes doesn't mean that they aren't all existing at the same time. Yeah, this feels good to say. That's what's happening. Like, I keep losing my train of thought. Like the veil isn't thin. It's like we are shifting energetically to be able to perceive these things. And so if you look, if you want to, if you are open to, you should be able to see like beings. You should be able to see your guides. I feel like you should even be able to feel them, like physical sensations of beings on the other side or other like high frequency beings. You should be able to feel them or see them if you want to, if you are open to that, if you're looking for it. I feel like they will be there, because I feel like it's getting closer to the time when like everything is gonna be like ascended, will all be ascended and, you know, risen in consciousness. And so these things will be commonly known again, obviously. And so we're in that phase now where it's being known, like 2024, even though I don't like talking about time and years and groups and stuff like that, but for the sake of like explaining things, has been about revealing these things, like very like worldly things, like celebrities, politicians, you know, different little aspects of like the world, you know. And then now it's gonna be like more spiritual, extraterrestrial, religious things, if you will. You know what I mean? Like non like what we know about human things is happening. Very, very thin right now. Manifestation is also high. Highly recommend using a lot of affirmations at this time. Something else I want to like touch on, excuse me, is that like I keep seeing or like being told or hearing that like the giant ones are like important. Like I keep seeing like huge humans, and I keep like getting proof of that like in my reality. Like the messages are very like repetitive, whereas I feel like before, like I would get a sign and it'd be like stretched out over like a period of time, like a month. Like I would get 2 signs, and the next month I get 2 signs, and then by month 3 it finally like clicked, like, oh, I keep seeing this thing. Whereas now it's like more like back to back. It's like quicker pace. And I know it's because like it's picking up speed in terms of like ascension and like truth Being known again. And I keep saying the big beings, specifically their feet. Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah, like when I was watching, like, I get drawn to watch certain things. I was watching Hotel Transylvania 2, and there's a big foot, and it's so big that you just see the foot. You just see one foot, like you can't even see like the rest of it. Like I keep seeing like humans that big in like different little clips. Like I was watching Gravity Falls, and then there was another like huge foot. Like it just keeps being things like that, these gigantic beings. That's very important. I don't know why yet. Also, I posted on my story like 2 days ago, like the Northern Lights, because I had a conversation with someone about that, like accidentally or unintentionally, and then I saw someone had liked one of my posts, and I felt drawn to check their page, and so I checked their page, and I scrolled down, and then I saw that, and it was saying like my life's dream was always to see the Northern Lights. I never thought I'd see it in New York at like 3 p.m. Like odd things. I was like, remember when that happened? And like we forget that these abnormalities have been happening at an alarming rate. I don't know why. I think maybe because we're just like overwhelmed with so many bizarre things that like nothing gets our attention anymore because things are so bizarre. But like these are like, this is proof that like things are changing, and not only are they changing, they're changing at a rapid rate. Like it would be completely unheard of like 5 years ago to randomly see Northern Lights all around the world at a certain time. And like what was the explanation for that? Like why did that happen according to like Western science? You know, like what was the explanation for that? Why did that happen? And it's never what's like said on mainstream. Yeah, in my opinion, I feel like it was oh yeah, I just heard a in my ear. In my opinion, it was like a signal, like suit up, we about to like get going, like suit up angels, we about to pipe up. Okay, so these cards came out. Again, this is the Gothic Oracle deck by Anne Stokes, not Strokes. So the Angel Rose, there's a lot of them. Awaken Your Magic, this is beautiful. Eternal Bond. I'm hearing that people are like wondering like, okay, like what do I do? Like the energy's weird, like what do I do? Like how do I cope with that? I will give you what I do. Moon Witch. Fierce Loyalty. Oh, I just heard something. And yeah, the Wish. So December of this year, again, I don't like to mention time like this because it makes people wait, and I feel like it also like can be disheartening. Like you give people hope for something and then it doesn't happen, like makes them despair, like it shoots you down. So take everything I say with your own personal grain of salt or integrity. Like don't like live for whatever I say. But I just heard this message again, I got it earlier. It's like unions have already happened in December of this year. Like for the mated pairs, like the divine counterparts, like a lot of them are coming into union this December, and it's already happened. Like I heard that earlier, like the union has already happened. So that can be like, some people were asking like how, like what do I do? Like start living and being like it's already happened, so you can relax because it already has happened. And while you're in that relaxed state of like not worrying about like forcing or pushing anything, then you can be in the moment and like listen to divine guidance in the moment. Okay, because there does need to be like actions you take. Like I was just saying about like me seeing that person who liked my post, and because I'm like in tuned, I can feel there's like an energy that I need to check out. And so I click it. Like, I don't hesitate. I click it and I find out about the Northern Lights. And like, that is important. Like, I don't know how, but it's important. And you need to continue to do things like that. Like, the more that you like validate your own intuition, validate your own experiences, and like follow through with actions when you know you should, the more like open or like receptive you become, and the more knowledge that like your own soul starts to like trust you with, if that makes sense. Yeah, this eternal bond card is like popping out to me. Like, I'm saying, there's like unions, and I'm hearing they've already started happening, and they already have happened. But like, in terms of like what I mean by like they've already started happening is that like you should have soul tribe members who have already showed up. If not your divine counterpart, like soul tribe members should be like around you energetically, if not in the physical, if not like in communication with you. There should be some sort of something with soul tribe members around you at this time, because it's just time. And I feel like it's important to say, like, to make this happen, like I said about Caddo Lake, like it's not about just like being like, okay, this destined event is gonna happen, but it's like your actions, like what you do now is what makes it happen as well. And it's not like hard all the time. Like, it's not these huge difficult tasks, but they can be. How I like handle, because it's like, what do you do? I feel like what you do, and this is something that Ramona Lappin talks about a lot, is you tackle every single thing that you're afraid of. Like, if you have any kind of fear or something that keeps popping up in your consciousness that you're afraid of, dive into it, head in that direction, and that's going to give you the keys to your own kingdom every time. I can vouch for that. I can say that with certainty. Like, every time when something insidious has like been brought up in my consciousness and my awareness, like, avoiding it doesn't work. Going into it always gives you more freedom, gives you more like fearlessness. I'm hearing now like someone else like speaking. So I also feel like now is a great time to collaborate with who you feel called to, especially if who you feel called to collaborate with is like not physically around you, which probably sounds like weird and like creepy to some people. Like, I don't want to talk to ghosts and I don't want to talk to demons. Everybody always like jumps to demons, which is interesting. But yeah, obviously don't talk to anybody you don't want to talk to. It's like, it's just that simple. But I'm hearing like it's okay now to like listen. I'm hearing specifically to the masculine. Like, the masculine has something to say, and it's okay now to listen to him based off of the energy. I'm going to say him for the energy. Let's see, what does the masculine have to say? How the hell does this keep coming undone? That's weird. Okay. I'm gonna use these. Oh, one that popped out already. Yeah. There's a lot of like little baby creatures in this one. It's a lot of like rebirth or new birth. The dragons have been around, honey, because this deck has like a lot of dragons and like winged creatures in it. And like right when I'm like starting to feel the dragons again, this deck gets brought back. All right, what do you want to say, masculine? What do you have to say? I feel like I always have like such a dramatic face. I like it though. It's alright. Alright, so this one is the one that shot on the floor, which is the Chariot card. It's like, what more do I say? Like, I just said this, like, the masculines are like, I don't know, like in the game now. And I've said this a lot, like before. I've had a lot of like bursts of like the divine masculine being like, I'm gonna step forward, I'm gonna do things, and then they never do. Or maybe they do for some people and just not for me. But I don't know, I've also seen proof of this. Like, I've seen proof of this. I've seen like more men, like cisgendered men, but also just like men, like being more in tuned with themselves. Like, I've actually seen that and I felt it too. So yeah, this is the message from the masculines. They're like let me do the talking, I feel, because they have had very closed throat chakra, which I can definitely testify to that, like the masculines. And this is within all of us too, like the masculine within all of us having like closed throat chakra and being very like action oriented, but from a place of like unhealed trauma. And so it's like, now I'm like, I got on my like big boy pants. This is what I feel like. I got on my big boy pants now, and like I can do it. Like, that's how I feel. Can you give me like a imagery, please, of like an example that I could share? That's a raven. Who? That's a raven. Why would I talk about that's a raven? That's like a show about a woman. Is it Eddie from the show? I don't know if that's like the best one. I don't want to do that one. Can you like give me something else? All right, I'll just let it come in if it comes in, if not. But I hope people know what I mean by like, it's this energy of like I know I failed last time, but like trust me this time. And trust me, like I will do it this time, and I will do it the right way, and I will do it well. I'm getting an example now. It's this film that I actually like just reviewed. It's called Let Go. It's on Netflix, and there's this mom and dad and husband and wife, and the mom is like constantly doing things like for the children, because the dad just sits there and he doesn't say anything. He literally doesn't say anything. Like, literally, he just sits there while everything is going on. He's like not present at all. And every time the dad's like, I can't do anything because you're always doing it. And the mom is like, well, I have to do things because you never do it, or you don't do it the right way. And it ends up being true. Like, she ends up trusting him to like do the duty of the parent. And their son like gets sick by eating the wrong food. And then, but it's like a good example, because the dad, even though he messed up, he still handles what he messed up. Like, he takes the kid to the hospital and like gets the child's stomach pumped and makes sure the child is like good to go. And like after that, the mom, sorry, spoilers. The mom, she dies, and the dad, like, he takes over. Like, he's got it. Like, he takes care of his kids. And that's what it feels like for this one. I wish there was like a different example. I feel like I had one with like Jim Carrey or something, but I can't remember. So this is one of the things the masculine wants to say. I've also been seeing like imagery of like the sun, like this, like specifically like this. Yeah, I had like a vision, and I saw an eye, and it looked kind of like this. We have the Ace of Wands. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. This came right after it, and it plopped. Yeah, this is the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah. So I feel like another message from the Divine Masculine is like, I want a new fiery beginning with like passion. Like, I'm going to come in with passion and fire, but I'm also going to back it up like with something material. And for any reunions or unions occurring now, this is always now, the masculines, like the divine masculines, whoever holds that energy or that position in the divine, mating bond, is going to have some sort of security, financial security, emotional security, spiritual security, like something like that. Like if they don't have like the money or something like that, they're gonna like have the protection. Like they're gonna protect you spiritually, protect you emotionally from like people attacking you. That's They're gonna have some sort of like security here physically, backing it up with something material. And I'm hearing like this isn't like I'm hearing like this isn't like luck or like a fluke or like getting your hopes up about something. This is like, I'm hearing like this is something I've planned. This is something I've actually like been taking the time to plan and to do with intention. Again, materially is what I'm hearing. Materially. Yeah, like, I don't know, something about this. Like a coming home. Something about these unicorns. Because I said that earlier about the other unicorn. I was like drawn to it. We then have the Seven of Cups, which would not let me leave it alone. It was like, girl, pick me up. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. Lots of pentacles. I feel like I usually don't get a lot of pentacles. So I feel like this is saying like, it may look like I have like options or I'm like unsure, but the truth is, I've already chosen who I want, and who I want is you. I'll say that again. It may look like I'm like juggling choices or I'm choosing from options, but the truth is, like, I'm hearing like what I haven't told them, whoever that is, what I haven't told them is that I've already chosen, and I've chosen you. I'm seeing that Medea Christmas movie. I'm seeing that movie. Yeah, because it was like an interracial relationship, and like they had to like choose between like the family or something, and choosing like to be together, and like they chose to be together. So it might have something to do with like a person's family or like people they're surrounded by, and that's the them. Like I haven't told them. Like it looks like to them like, oh, so and so is single, or and like, out on the market, and like they're like, they don't know this, but I'm already settled down. Like in their mind, this is a person, or the masculine energy is very focused, it's very honed in, and I feel like it's very disciplined this time. And like I said, this isn't like a overnight thing. I got inspired, or I got like horny and like decided to message someone. Like this ain't that. Like this is consistent. I feel like we or you, whoever, will be surprised by how long this person has been like planning this. It's been planned out. This is predestined. Like I was saying earlier about the event. There's an event that's predestined to happen. Like it must, is happening. I think probably in order for somebody to be born to, like somebody who is born has to be consummated. Like I was saying earlier about the Caddo Lake, like this has to happen, because if not, something that's already happened wouldn't have happened, and it's already happened, so it has to happen. But yeah, this ain't no fluke. This ain't no like spur of the moment, oh my gosh, I just felt like doing this randomly. No, this is very intentional. And I feel like this person also like, or this energy, this masculine energy, has like been like laser focused, like writing it down, like affirmations, and like with intention, and like slowly but surely, probably even like working out too, like being very disciplined about themselves, and like I'm hearing like therapy and like treating themselves. Like I'm gonna stay on this regimen, and I'm gonna like be confident in myself, and I'm gonna say it every day. I'm gonna be confident every day, and I'm gonna believe in myself. I'm gonna believe in myself every day, and everything that doesn't fall into alignment with this, I'm gonna cut it off. Like friends who are pessimistic, friends who don't believe in love, friends who are like unfocused, like everybody gotta go. So I feel like this person also has been like much more isolated than usual, but like with like one or two trusted people to like let in and talk about. And I feel like this time I'm hearing with my ear, like this time they're like actually talking to their friends. You know how like guys, although this isn't to do with gender, but you know how like men, I've seen this before, like, and like people saying this, how like they don't talk to their male friends, they don't ask questions, they don't sit and listen. Like this person has been like speaking and being vulnerable with other people, so it doesn't feel so hard to be vulnerable with the divine feminine, with their divine feminine. Like it won't be like, I'll open up, but like only for you. And like that sounds sweet in like romance books, but it's also toxic, and it can be very like oppressive to that one person that you're vulnerable with, you know? Like a healthy person is vulnerable with multiple people, but especially like with themselves. Like if you feel the need to be vulnerable with a random person you meet in a coffee shop, then you should be able to do so without it being like this breakneck, like took my arm and leg was such a hard, difficult experience to have. They've been practicing being vulnerable, talking about their childhood, talking about their wounds, talking about their insecurities with other people that they trust. But I'm hearing to like make sure to say like not sexual partners is what I'm hearing. Like there's been no like play. It's like just you. And I feel like they want to say like they're making sure that like this connection with you is like about love and about trust and stability and accountability before it's about physical intimacy. Like they're very serious about like building a foundation. And I feel like it's not just about like their divine feminine. It's not just about you or us, like to like be that one. It's about them, like proving it to themselves that they can become this person who they've always envied, always wanted to be, always saw in other people, and never felt like worthy enough for the possibility that it could be them. You know, who was that person? Who was that man? Who was that person? I feel like there's like a lot to say. I'm hearing I miss you. Aw, this is cute. Daughter of Pentacles, that rainbow. Rainbow to me symbolizes like promises, like the Aurora Borealis. Like promises, and also like a signal to like wake up. Yeah, like I was watching this video and it was like talking about how deer do this thing to signal to other deer like we over here, come this way. And they like scruff up the ground and leave like a little patch of like vertical dirt, and they like rub their scent on like a high branch or something. Like they rub their scent on there. And that's how I feel about this card. Like not only is like a promise of like hope or a promise to fulfill a promise or to commit, it's also like a signal like come this way. And I feel like this signal is to other divine masculines. It's to other masculine people. It's like activating other masculines around them in the collective in general. Like when one masculine does it, it's like encouraging other masculines to like come this way, like scratch, 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 rub my scent, come this way. There's food over here, there's abundance over here. Like what you've been looking for, like we were taught that it was over there, but it's actually over here. And it'll be everything you want. Just you have to come this way. Yes, and the last one, death. Beautiful. So the message that I'm getting with this one is like, it's a bit of shame still, but it's like the old me has died. Like I'm so sorry that like the old me treated you that way, but just know the old me was treating me worse. Like, it felt like I was living in my own personal hell, and the idea of you trying to be like my light infuriated me because I just wanted to wallow in my own suffering and my own pain. And so I pushed you out, pushed you away so that it could be black. It could be just shut down darkness. But like, even in that darkness, there's still you, because there's still love in the womb. I'm hearing like I pushed you away to get like away from you in that brightness so I could be like comforted in my own like wallow in pity, self-pity. But like in that place, I became closer to you because I became closer to God, which was the same like color of you. Yeah, like this person or this like masculine energy, it like became closer to the feminine during the separation, whether it was physical or emotional or whatever. Like they thought they were running away from you. They ran right into you, ran right into the feminine, for whoever's watching this, because it could be the masculine watching this. And like the bond got deeper. If you've been seeing like twos, pairs of things, just twos everywhere you go. Couples, could be couples, 2 dogs, 2 flowers, 2 tattoos, 2 gas stations, 2 movies, like Moana, Wicked, like something like that. This is like a sign of that, like they found you without you being around. So it's like, of course, like the end goal of that will be to like meet you there. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I think I've like talked enough. Hopefully I've given like good advice. Ooh, the magician. Like there's like, yeah, there's a lot of like confidence from the masculine. Mother of Swords, like Queen of Swords, like especially with their voice. I always associate like swords with the voice and with speaking. There's a lot more confidence now. Like whoever these people are with this masculine energy, they speak more now. Like some of them might have like a podcast now or like a YouTube channel, or like they might speak on Instagram, or they, like I said, they might be in a group with like close friends where they actually talk now. They talk more now about like their truth, like the real shit. I don't want to be channeling messages all night. I hope this resonated. I hope like this helped to like make sense of like signs that you may have been picking up. Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls is important, like the triangle, the one eye. But yeah, watch Caddo Lake if you didn't understand what I was talking about. And if you can't watch Caddo Lake, like just go on YouTube and like watch somebody explain it. Like it's okay if you don't have like the subscription. Subscribe, comment, like, watch my other videos, check out my other YouTube channels, Jabria Jabbers and Jabria Bennett, and I'll see you later. Bye. How do I do this?